Hello, Anime, and hello, Christina. Thank you for coming. I starting a little tad early, not too early. I hope you're both doing well. Uh, I don't know if anybody else is here besides you two. Let me look. You're the only two names I see. So thank you. Anybody else is here besides you two? Whoops. Let me look. Had to turn the volume down. Let me look. All right. Well, hey, how you doing, Amy? Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Um, Abby G, how you doing? Thank you for coming. I want to welcome you all. Like I said, it's 11 days to Christmas in Philippines, 12 days to Christmas here. I still narrowing things down. I do know that one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to change my permanent mailing home address to my nephew Tim's place. The reason for that is I live in an apartment building. As most of you know, I've done. Hey, Jorlene, how you doing? I've done videos on my apartment complex. So once I move to the Philippines, I don't want that as my address because if they check, then it's going to be, well, that's a apartment. You're no longer there. So I'm going to change it to my nephew's address. He has a house. He's even invited me to live with him if I wanted. Uh, but I'm not going to do that unless things don't work out in the Philippines and I come back. But I do want to use his address as a permanent mailing address. So we're going to do that. I'll get to my bank's information, change to that later on. I plan on starting off in Cebu, Abby, at least for the first 3 months or so. There's no guarantee that's where I'm going to stay. Uh, I've told you guys about my bridge. I'm going to go there, check it out. I'll probably get my dental work done in Cebu. If I'm not happy or satisfied with Cebu, I may like it, but not in love with it. I want to check out a few other places. Yes, the Visayas region is where I'm going to start at. I do want to check out Dumaguete and Valencia, that area there. And I want to check that out whether I stay in Cebu or not. I also want to check out Iloilo. I want to check out Davao. And there's probably a couple places. I'll probably go by Leyte uh, and check that place out a little bit, but that's not more. That's more to see some sights over there than to check if to live, although I may try to live there. Well, next year I'll celebrate Christmas in the Philippines. This year I'm gonna, I'm still working. I'm not gonna retire until the end of probably the first week or two of April. That's what I'm leaning towards right now. Working 1 or 2 weeks into April, then retiring. Uh, I got to check and see what my rent's going to be because my lease runs out at the end of February. So, how much is it going to cost me per month if I only stay 2 months or 3 months? And if I stay 3 months, I'm still going over in the Philippines at either the end of May or first of June. It just do I keep my apartment for another month? I'm leaning towards not doing that because of the cost, but I may need to make sure I get everything done. I gotta get rid of all my furniture. Well, if we meet up, I've thought about a couple things I want to do to bring gifts over for my YouTube friends. We will try that, sir. Now, Dr. Chill, Dr. Chill, uh, Huh. You've been on the YouTube for quite a while. So thank you for coming. Can you tell me how you found me? Uh, you got 87 subscribers, but you haven't been very active. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm going to the Philippines either the end of May or 1st of June. Uh, Probably next month or so. I'll start looking into the cost of the flights of depending on when I go. Uh, Let me see something here. No, don't like that one. So we're going back to that. But anyway, we appreciate that, Dr. Chill. Thank you. I'm an old guy. I'm getting ready to retire. I work as a security guard, have for many years. And my retirement will be Social Security. That's all I'm going to have coming in. Now, if you know about the Philippines, you know it's much more affordable for someone like myself to live in the Philippines than to live here. I live in New York State right now. I live outside of the capital region of New York. I live right outside of Albany. I'm just a hop from it, not even a hop skip, just a hop. A very short distance from Albany itself. And matter of fact, I work in Albany, the capital district. So, but I am a security guard. Have been for many years, and I never started a 401k, which is my fault. I don't blame anybody but me. And so I'm looking at everything. And at my age, I'm tired of working. I've been working, for well over 50 years now. I had my first job at 15. So, like I said, I've been working, and I'm not talking about paper routes because we do that. That it's 10. I was 10 years old when I started working. If you go paper routes, my first job we clocked in and clocked out and got a regular paycheck. I was 15. So I've been working off and on for well over 50 years. I was in the Navy. Spent some time. I was in the Navy for over 6.5 years. I spent a little over 3 months total in the Philippines while I was in the Navy. I also spent time in Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong. In other words, I did Western Pacifics or Westpaks as we call them in the Navy. So yeah. Oh, you're from England. All right. Well, thanks, Dr. Chill. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to enjoy it. And like I said, it's more affordable for somebody more affordable for anybody unless you're rich, then you don't care about affordability. But it's more affordable for those of us that have a limited income. No matter what lifestyle you want to live, it's more affordable to live it over there than it is to live here in the States. I'll try to maintain a lifestyle close to what I have here. I don't think I'll maintain the exact lifestyle, but I'll probably get a smaller place to live. But I will try to enjoy it. That's why I do you. I took up doing YouTube actually as putting up videos and stuff to see if I'd like it because once you retire and you've been working for most of your life, when you quit working, you need a hobby. At least I think you do. I mean, it could be just as simple as going golfing. It could be just as simple as going bowling once in a while. But you need something to look forward to, something to do once in a while. And I thought, well, I'll give YouTube a try. So I've been doing YouTube for a few years. As you can see, I'm a very small vlogger. I'm not trying to make it into a money proposition. Hey, JLC, how you doing? Thanks for coming. I do this for fun. This is my live stream is my entertainment. I enjoy doing this. I do the videos to right now just to entertain myself too. I mean, you'll see a lot of times I'll put up holiday decorations. our yard decorations. I enjoy those kind of things, and I like to show them. Occasionally, I'll go for a walk. It's been a while because my feet's been bothering me, and I'll show you where I'm walking at. Our I We have the Erie Canal that goes through this area, and so anyway, I was over by a Lock 7, which is not too far from where I live, and I had a boat coming in, so I did a history lesson on the lock or the canal itself, and I was able to show the boat come in and leave. So that was something I found interesting. I thought some other people might enjoy it. I went to an amusement park, small amusement thing. They had a go-kart and some miniature golf and a place where you could hit the softballs and an ice cream stand. So I went there and did a video there. Did some videos on wood carvings. Hey, Jerry, how you doing, man? Hope you're still having fun there in the Philippines. Now, when are you coming back to the States, buddy? But, yeah, so that's what I like to do. Like I said, I enjoy put up things I like. So when I get to the Philippines, I'll probably vlog at least something once a week, if not twice a week, because especially when I first get there, because the first things I see is going to be the first time I've seen it in person. I've seen it, most of the stuff I've seen on video, other people's vlogs, but I've not seen it in person, so I'll do a video on it. As I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were here, I had a bridge get, the teeth that was attached, the bridge was attached to, the two teeth rotted out. I didn't know it because it didn't cause me any pain, and I was eating something, and it broke out. And I'm getting ready to go to the Philippines, so I'll get that taken care of there because it'll cost me a lot less money. And I'll probably do a video on how much it cost and all that good stuff. But I'll visit some sites as well in Cebu. And then, like I said, I do, even if I decide I want to live in Cebu on a full-time basis, I still want to travel around to a few places. Like I said, I want to go to Dumaguete and Valencia, that area. I've seen a lot of vlogs in that area. There's a lot of nature parks and stuff like that to see over there. I've seen a lot of vlogs on the Sunday market in Valencia. I'd really like to see it. I know a couple that from YouTube that live on Leyte. I'll go over there. And I know some other vloggers that live in Leyte. So I'll go over there and meet up with some people. I also want to go to Iloilo. They got a gorgeous river walk. It's not really a boardwalk. It's not along the ocean. It's along the river. And it's very clean. And it's very walkable. I like to go see it. I want to go to Davao City. I do know a couple of vloggers that live outside of Davao. And actually, I know one that lives in General Santos. Let's get the name right. And so we'll try to meet up with some people. And I do want to go to the island of Luzon. I do want to go to Manila itself, BGC area, Makati BGC area. They got a cemetery, a World War II cemetery there. And I want to go see it. It's from the World War II, the Battle of Manila. A lot of people, Filipinos, Americans, and a lot of people are buried there. Now, the Americans take care of it, but it's right, like I said, it's right in the city. So I want to go see it. Then they got this mall called the Venice Grand Canal Mall. And if you go there, they got this canal going around inside the mall. They got the gondolas and that roll people around. And from my understanding, the gondola people, they sing in Italian to people. I'm not going to take it because I'm not dating it. That's not something I would do by myself. If I'm dating someone, or maybe if I meet a friend that's one of the girls I know through YouTube, maybe we'll do it together, but I won't do it by myself. But I do want to see it. So, like I said, there's a few things. I may drop down to Clark or Angeles City area. There's logger down there. They also got a World War II cemetery down there. It'd be nice to see. And who knows, I may make it down to Longapole, Subic Bay area. That's where I was at in the Navy, was Subic Bay. Longapole's right outside of Subic Bay. So, all right, Jerry. Well, Jerry, you know you're going back. I mean, let's be honest about it. You try to go back every year or every other year at least. So like I said, I'm not going to do it when I first get there. Uh, I, but it is a place I do want to go see. But as you know good and well, I plan on staying. Now, I promised myself that I would stay a minimum 1 year, and the reason for that it's going to be a minimum of 1 year, is the simple fact that I may not like Cebu, but that doesn't mean I won't like Dumaguete, Village area, or Iloilo, or Davao, or somewhere else. So I do want to be able to check out some other areas, especially if, like I said, if I decide I don't want to stay in Cebu. I am going to stay in Cebu at least 3 months because, like I said, I got to get that done. And UK sploosh. If you're asking me if I'm your dad, more than likely your granddad. I'm an old fart. But so anyway, it just, like I said, it's just something I want to do. I'm tired of winter. I'm from Indiana originally, the state of Indiana. But I've been out here in New York State now for 29 years. I moved out here in '96. Now I lived up around Rochester, Buffalo area at first, and I lived up there for almost 24 years, and I've been down here for about 5. So, like I said, next year if I stayed until August, September. August is when I left Indiana, but I didn't come to New York till September. So if I stayed here till September, it'd be 30 years out in New York State. So I've been out here quite a while. And everywhere I lived, we got outside of the military. Okay, let's clarify that. Everywhere I lived, we got snow and ice and cold, and I'm tired of it. Hey, Tim, I'm just saying I want to visit your area sometime after I move out to the Philippines. That's one of the areas I want to go. And you were talking about that graveyard out there, the World War II graveyard I'd like to see. And Jerry, I wish the next time Jerry comes out, hopefully he'll get a hold of me and maybe we can meet up somewhere. I'll take a little trip because, like I said, I do want to travel around the Philippines and see some other things. Now, all that is going to depend on where I'm living. And, the cost of living is in the Philippines is just like here in the United States. Location has a lot to do with it. My hometown in Indiana is cheaper to live than where I'm at right now. But here is cheaper than New York City or close to New York City. Just like I'm from Indiana, Indianapolis costs more than my hometown. Illinois is the state right next door. Depends on where you live in Illinois, because I did live in Illinois. I lived in a little town called Casey, which is about 40 miles from my hometown. But Casey not that expensive. But if you try to live up around Chicago, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg compared to other places. I lived in California, but I was in the Navy in California, and that was back in the 70s. And things were a whole lot cheaper, but they still weren't cheap in California at that time. It was just a whole lot cheaper than what it is today. Cortex, how you doing, sir? Thanks for dropping in. Don't know why you don't. I see you on my computer, but I don't see you on either one of these other two places. Let me check something. Oh, that's why. That's why. There we go. That should take care of that problem. No, you're on this one. Oh, that was the same thing. Okay. The chat had been changed, don't they? There you are. Okay. Sorry about that, Cortex. I hope you're having a good day. Like I said, I'm a small time vlogger who's not trying to make any money. Yeah, I know that, Tim. It's but everything goes up no matter where you're at. It costs more here. It's cheaper than what it was a couple of years ago. Yeah, Jerry. I'm not sure how I like this format. One format is geared towards the cell phones, and the other one's geared towards laptops and desktops. So it puts it out two different ways. If you're on the cell phone, it's like this. If you're on the desktop or laptop, it's like this. Horizontal for the desktop laptop, and vertical for the cell phone. Uh, StreamYard kind of advises to do it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep doing it. I kind of like it the other way, where everybody gets on here, and I do it this way. But hey, it is what it is, so I have to deal with it unless I decide to change it. And I can't do it midstream. I couldn't do it today because it was already up. And what happened to somebody? I got quite a few that's on the cell phone end. So what would happen there if if I don't have it up? So they'd be there waiting on me to come up and not be able to come in and chat. So I thought that would be kind of rude. But yeah, and Tim, I mean, listen to me, Jerry. You gave me now I'm going to play a different route off of what you did, but one of your gifts that you were giving out gave me an idea for a different style of gift. Uh, I'm not going to go into that right now, uh, but I do have an idea of what I'm going to do. I have to come up. I want to give. I have two gifts that I'm going to give that because of what you did. To be honest with you, it really is. Because I've been, racking my brain thinking, what can I do? Because I know it's polite and the so I got to think of some things, and I want to think of at least one or two other gifts. So I want to give three or four. Uh, so, and I want to make sure it's stuff that won't go bad. I mean, if I know I'm going to meet up with somebody soon, and I know they like chocolate, that's one thing. But I don't know who I'm meeting up that likes chocolate. Like I said, in Cebu, I don't know, but I do have a couple of gifts. No matter what, they won't go bad. As a matter of fact, I got a third one in mind. I'll probably do it. So I got three that won't go bad at all. Uh, so that's. I'm thinking about. I'll be honest with you about one of them. I'm thinking about a refrigerator magnet, either that or a keychain, with my home state of Indiana. So I'm thinking about doing something like that. I have to choose between the two. So if anybody's got a suggestion between those two, which would be better, please let me know. I want the refrigerator magnet would be in the shape of Indiana. Uh, well, I know that, Jerry, but the thing is, uh, like let's say I was going to meet up with Elvie. Elvie only likes Snickers. All right. But how long can I keep the Snickers? Because, like I said, I'm going to Cebu. She lives in General Santos. I don't know when I'll get there. So I wouldn't be able to bring them. I wouldn't feel comfortable bringing them from the States. buying them there and giving them to her. Yeah, I feel comfortable doing that. But I'm talking about the stuff I bring from the States. Uh, so, yeah. Uh, like I said, it just, there, okay, Tim, you got three mountains, huh? That's cool. But I see Tim's up there by Clark, Angela City area. That's where Tim's at. Uh, Now, that's on the island of Luzon, if I remember right. I know it is because it's on the same island as Subic Bay, and that's Luzon. Uh, but they're a few hours apart. So, and like I said, I may go down and see the Subic Bay again in the Longapo area because I was there in the Navy, and so it might be. But that'll be later on. It's Jorlyn, how you doing? Thank you for coming. In case I didn't say it earlier, Winnie, thank you for coming. Don't want to get too far behind on this, but yeah. So it would be interesting to go back and see Olongapo and how much has changed. Anna, how you doing? I'm not sure how you pronounce the rest of that, so I'm just going to go with Anna. And I don't know. Like I said, I got. Oh, Subic only an hour from you? I thought it was more than that. But you got to remember, I never really left Subic. When I was in the Navy there, I just stayed in Subic Olongapo. Now, I may be mispronouncing the name, but here you go. This is the way it's spelled. So you tell me. That's the way it's spelled. So that's the way we pronounced it. And like I said, it's a Longapo. I could be, like I said, I could be completely off because, as you all know, the English that's spoken in the Philippines is not exactly the same English we speak in the United States. You can understand each other, but certain words are pronounced differently because of historic differences. Uh, there is a follower of Elvis that if we pronounce it the way we do in the United States, we'd pronounce it Pamela. But Elvie, and being Elvie is a native Filipina, and so is Pamela, she pronounces it Pamela. All right. There's another. Uh, okay, that's what I thought. Like I said, I know that's the way we always pronounced it, Tim. And there's another vlogger that lives up in Manila area. Her name would be pronounced here as Deborah, and she pronounces it as Deborah. So hey, it's her name. She knows how she wants it pronounced. So I try to remember how to pronounce it. So it's like Winnie here. I don't know how she pronounces it. I have to go with the way I would pronounce it here in the States. And that's all I can do until I meet somebody that can correct my pronunciation. And if I mispronounce somebody's name, I'm sorry. It's not intentional. It's just I don't know how you pronounce it. Huh, I just I find that funny. I'm the host, and you'll see a lot of people have the blue, but I don't have the blue, and I'm the host. Oh, by the way, anybody that if you have a channel and you want to advertise your channel, just type in three L's, small L's, capital L's. It doesn't matter. That way, if somebody wants to check your channel out, they can do it. Yeah, that's true, Tim. And some of that may be uh, the influence of the Spanish when they were under Spanish control. Maybe you have to have the. I'm surprised. Huh. Maybe you have to have a blue jacket. I don't know. Huh. Sorry about that, Trump, but looks like it's not going to work unless you got a blue jacket. Uh, but yeah, it just, I just, it's kind of strange. And like I said, the last time I was in the Philippines, we went through a typhoon ourselves in Subic Bay many years ago. Like I said, many years ago, back in the '70s. So you know, it's many years ago. And I was had missing ship movement, which means my ship left without me. And I, you know, but I did not get in trouble for that. I was on a ship of over 1,000 people. About 200 of us missed ship movement. But the thing is, I left on a Sunday morning, and when I left, we were told we had 20. When the word came out to return to the ship, you had 24 hours to get back. So, like I said, we left in the morning, and it was in the evening, late evening, not late, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, somewhere around there. The word comes down that we are to report back to our ships. Well, that meant I didn't have to be back till the morning because I had to be back in the morning anyway. So anyway, I didn't go back because I was told I had 24 hours once the word was given that I didn't, I had 24 hours to get back. I had less than 12 hours. I was going to be back anyway because I had to be back for duty. And I guess there was probably about 200 of us thought the same thing. So we come back the next morning, and I get a taxi, on-base taxi, to the pier where my ship was supposed to be. And my taxi pulls up, and I get out. Now my ship was about the size of an old time cruise liner, passenger cruise liner. And what was sitting there was a tin can. Now, tin can's about 1/3 the size of my ship as far as height. Length, it's a little over half as long, but only about 1/3 the height. So I get out of the cab and I start walking up, and I'm hungover. Back when I was young and dumb. And I looked at that ship and I went, "My ship shrunk." And the guys on the quarter deck just cracked up laughing. So I go on board, check in with them, and say, "Look, can you put it in your logs? I'm here by this time," which means I got back to my ship according to the rules I was given on time. I was early. And so they said they would. And I asked them, I said, "Now, where should I go to check in? Because evidently I can't stay on your ship." So they told me where to go, and another buddy showed up. And so we took his cab and went to the main post that we had to check in at on base. And like I said, there was quite a few of us there from my ship and some other people from some other ships. I know a guy that missed his ship. He was on an aircraft carrier and he missed his ship. So, we spent the next day laying around not doing much because you couldn't do anything. Your ship wasn't there, so you weren't working. And so the next day after that, the ship comes back in, and we're standing down on the pier waving at everybody as they're coming back in. And then we report back on board, and we get wrote up for missing ship movement. So now we have to go in front of the XO. The XO is executive officer. That's the second man in charge. The captain, XO, and then your division officers, or your department heads, actually. And then your division officers. So anyway, I go in front of the captain. Not captain, the XO, He asked what happened. And I said, well, sir, I left Sunday morning at such and such time. And we were told we had 24 hours to get back. And he goes, dismiss. And he did it before everybody. None of us went in front of the captain. It was all dismissed because, like I said, when we left, it's 24 hours. Well, we got back within 24 hours, so we followed the rules. And so it turned out, actually, that the captain of the ship got in trouble because the admiral, who's his boss, he's not on our ship, but he's his boss, thought he shouldn't have pulled out the way he did. I was told that when they pulled out, he didn't even pull up the gangplank. He just let it fall in the water. The gangplank's what you walk on to get on the ship. It's not the plank. You don't walk the plank. The gangplank is different. And so I don't know if it's true or not. That's just what the rumor I heard. But when you're not, high enough up, you don't know. So yeah, I truly do look forward to go back. Now my division, when I was in the Navy on ship, especially my first ship, which is this incident that happened when I was in the Philippines, was my first ship. It was about 1/3 Filipinos. I worked with a lot of Filipinos in the Navy, and got along well with them, and I met some of their families and got along well with their families. On shore duty, there wasn't any Filipinos in my work group, but there were Filipinos that I knew that was on base. Actually, they worked on base. They lived off base because all the ones I knew were married and had families. And I would be invited to all the parties, like I said. And it was great. I mean, I think some of the girls kind of liked me, but they were underage, and I was in my mid-20s. Oh, well, I was around mid-20s. I was a little younger than I was. Nowadays, they'd be old enough, no problem. But back then, it would have been a no-no. So, I do know one or two of them actually found me interesting. I won't say they wanted to date me, but they seemed to like me. But they were like 16, And like I said, I was 24. 8 years is not a big deal, but it is when they're 16. Now, if they were 18 and I was 26, that'd flip the script. I wouldn't think that was too young because they'd be the legal age. And better, that's just the way it is. You got to take the time frame in and how much of an age difference. I think 18 would be too much of an age difference now. I'm talking about if she was 18. I think 20 would be too much of an age difference. I'm an old fart. I don't deny that. But that don't mean you can't be friends. So yeah, I really do look forward. There's some people that in Cebu area I want to meet. So anybody that's on here that's in Cebu, when I have my live stream that says "Guess where I'm at," I'm in Cebu. And if that changes, if I decide to go somewhere else first, it'll be announced while I'm still in the States. So, but right now, if I have a live stream that says "Guess where I'm at," know that I may put that up before I get there, but know when that live stream happens, I'm going to be in Cebu. That'll be my first live stream in Cebu. So I'm looking forward to doing that one. I'm planning on leaving earlier in the week. I don't plan on getting there on a Friday. I'm thinking about getting there on a Wednesday or a Thursday, so I can have a day or two of rest before I do a live stream. Tim, I would not be adverse to dating someone 24 years younger than me at my age, because that would put her in an age that would be acceptable to me. All right. I don't see any problems with an age gap. I just don't want one 40 years difference or 50 years difference. Okay. I don't want that large of an age gap. Nothing against the girls. They can be great. They can be the best woman I'll meet. Period. They could be. I just don't want a 50-year age gap or a 40-year age gap. don't even want a 30-year age gap. But that's me. And I don't blame anybody else for doing what they do. That's strictly up to them. And hey, because I don't want it, doesn't mean I won't change my mind. Okay? I won't change my mind on the 50. I guarantee you that. I'm pretty sure I won't do it on the 40 either. But, you know, you can't say never. I'm not saying I want a woman that's as old as I am. I just want one that's got a little bit of age on her. One that we won't go into all that. None of that matters. But yeah, it's just, I know, like I said, I want to meet up with Tim. He's a guy. That's one of the reasons why I want to go to the Angeles Clark area, meet up with Tim and see those that graveyard. And so, you know, it's like I want to go to Leyte to meet up with Dan and Minnie and a couple others over there. So there's a lot of things I'd like to do. Eventually, hopefully, I'll get to do them all. But like I said, I guarantee myself at least 1 year, unless something happens. Now, if there's a health thing that I can't take care of in the Philippines, and I have to go home, then that's that. But outside of that, I promised myself I'd stay at least a year, maybe longer. So, like I said, if I don't like where I'm at, I want time to go around and check out other places. It's just like here, New York City is going to be different than Chicago. They just are. Or Chicago is going to be different than Indianapolis, and they're both in the Midwest. They just are. I don't think I'll. If Cebu's not for me, I can guarantee you Manila won't be for me. I don't think. I shouldn't say guarantee. I just don't believe Manila would be. I think Cebu would probably not be for me because of the size of the city. I agree with you, Jerry. I mean, that just. I do have a lot of similar tastes with women, 5, 10 years difference. I do. I don't, I don't have that kind of problem. It's not the age; it's what you like. What do you like that's in common? That might happen, Chip. I hope it doesn't. In my case, if it does, I'll probably end up in Florida or maybe down in Texas, up close to Jerry. Because I don't want winter. Like I said, when I first come back, I'll probably be in the Midwest or New York, while I save up money and buy myself a car and get myself ready to move somewhere else. Because, like I said, I have the money to go over. I have the money for emergencies and if necessary to come back. But may not have the money to set myself back up here after I do all that. You just don't know. It depends on how much money you end up spending because I know what I plan on spending. And what I plan on spending, I'll be able to save money every month over what I got. But will I be able to do that? There again, location. The reason for that is some areas. All right, let's take Cebu. If I tried to live in what they call the bubble, for those that don't know what the bubble is, that's an expat where a lot of expats live, so it's almost Western and everything. It would cost me a lot more money. And Jerry, there's not enough alcohol in the world, well along the Philippines, to get me eating Baloo. I'd have to be so drunk, you'd be feeding it because I wouldn't be eating. You'd be putting it in my mouth and chewing it for me. That's how drunk I'd have to be. I wouldn't be able to eat it. No, I'm sorry. When I was in the Philippines, I was with a young lady that bought a couple of balloons, and she wanted me to eat one, and I said, "No, thank you very much." She couldn't get me to do it. No, nobody's getting me to do it. And I was drunk when that happened. So, I mean, yeah, I've been drunk and offered balut, and it's like, no way. No, not happening. For any of you that are maybe that are still here that don't know what balut is, it's a fertilized duck egg that's partly grown inside the egg. Sometimes it'll have feathers and beaks, and sometimes it doesn't. That's called a balut, and it's a delicacy in the Philippines. Not all Filipinos like it, but some do, and that's what the balut is. And the egg is like 10 to 15 days old, so you can't really say uh, what's going on. So it just, oh man, I'm plugged up. Hang on. So anyway, that's all it is. Tim says he doesn't like balut. Yeah, I know, Tim, Jerry. I saw the videos. The last one you did, I just turned my phone around and didn't let it play, but I wouldn't watch it. No, you're not. I'm not eating balut. I don't have, like I said, I'd try the intestines. I could try that. Yeah, I got this a couple of years ago. Well, about a year and a half ago. Was, I think it was June in 24. Went to the Filipino festival here in Albany, and I saw this hat, and that's like I had to get it. And I also had that calamansi juice drink. Oh God, that was good. And then I had the ubi cake with flan topping. Man, that was good. None of that's good for me, uh, but it still was good. And so we uh, we enjoyed it immensely. And so, whoops, I got to change that again. There we go. So yeah, it was. I it was only one day, and that really made me sad because. All right, Jerry, take care. Enjoy Lady E, but they only had it one day, and I'd love to have gone back and got some more calamansi and that ubi cake with flan. I did try banana Q, but it was cold, and I think and it might not even been the right banana, if you ask me. But I think it would have been better much if I could have got it right off the barbecue, right off the grill while it was still hot. So that, even though I didn't really like it that much, I'll try that in the Philippines because I think it will be different. I also had lumpia there at that, and the lumpia they had, the ends were burnt some. And I've had lumpia before. I had a girlfriend when I was in San Diego that was Filipina, and she made it for one of my birthday parties, and it was delicious. So I've had lumpia that was really good. It was okay. It was to me it was a little overcooked. Uh, like I said, the ends seemed to be burnt, and so anyway, so yeah, it just it's something I'm looking forward to. I'm a little anxious to get started. Uh, Not apprehensive. Like I said, I really am looking forward to it. But there is an anxiety in that I'm ready to start, but I'm also going to miss my family. Uh, Now I don't have any family that lives near me, but I do have good friends that live near me. I'll miss them as well. But my closest actual relatives are about 4 hours, kind of northwest of me, and that's my nephew and my and his dad, my brother-in-law. That's My oldest sister's passed away this year. That's her husband and youngest son. They're the closest to me. Uh, and then the next closest would be in Indiana. That's my other two sisters that are still alive, and my cousins and stuff there. My best friend from back there has passed away a couple years ago. Yeah, I can believe that. Like I said, it was cooked too long to me, Tim. Uh, like I said, when my girlfriend fixed it, and she cooked, we were at the bar. She worked at the bar I went to. Uh, she cooked it, and me and another guy, Paul, almost nobody else got any because we were sitting eating it almost as soon as they set it down. That was for my 22nd birthday, many years ago. So anyway, yeah, she she was short even for a Filipina, if you ask me. She only stood about 4'10", and so yeah, she was. We were almost a Mutt and Jeff couple. There's 10 inches difference between our height. You know, I'm 5'8" and she was 4'10". She only weighed about 90 pounds, and I think that was soaking wet. But yeah, I run that relationship. I'll take the blame for it. I like it softer. I don't mind if there's a light crunch to it, but I don't want the heavy crunch. Like, you can have it. There's a difference between a crunch and a burnt crunch. I don't mind a crunch, but I don't want a burnt crunch. And I'm not lying. The ends on both ends was burnt, and so it still wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good as I remember. And it's like, well, I'm not a seafood person. I've had squid twice. Or was it octopus? Octopus twice. One time was better than the other. One time was too salty, so they probably didn't soak it enough in fresh water to get the salt out of it, or more of the salt out of it. And the other time they did. I'm not a big fan of it, but like I said, the time that it wasn't as salty was much better than the time that it was. So yeah, and right now, like I said, what I'm talking about, not leaving until May sometime. Excuse me a minute. The reason for that is I want to get my motorcycle endorsement, and I can't do that till April. Uh, and I'll get the what they call the real ID, I think it is. It's your driver's license. I'll have a little star proof. Costs a little bit more, but I didn't do it before. I don't have to do that because I have my passport. And now you can't fly without a real ID or your passport. I have the passport, so I don't have to get the real ID. But if I get the motorcycle endorsement, I have to get the real ID. They won't give me one without it, now. So I'm looking at doing that. And so that means I'll have to take a week or two to get qualified in April for that. And that's why I'm trying to decide if I want to keep the apartment into May. I got to find out how long it'll take me to get the school done. Because if it's only a week or so, I'm out of this apartment at the end of April. If it's going to take me a couple, two full weeks or 3 weeks, I may keep the apartment through May. I don't plan on staying here through May. I may have to keep it so I can get the place cleaned up, my furniture all sold off, because I'm not putting any of this stuff in storage. Because I'm going to be gone for at least a year. Promise myself at least a year. And if I have to move around every 2 or 3 months to look for a place I want to stay, that's what I'll do. But I promised myself I'd stay at least a year and probably maybe a year and a half to keep looking because I really want to stay. That's my goal right now. Like I said, so I'm going to sell my car, sell all my furniture. And I do have enough furniture to furnish a 1-bedroom apartment or house. depending on the size of the apartment, could be crowded with what I got. It is uh, a little crowded for me, but not too bad. Uh, but it's I just can't see hanging on to it if I'm LV, 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 LV. Hey, LV, how you doing? Thanks for coming. Uh, like I was saying, I do plan on visiting Duval, which is on the same island that LV lives. She lives in General Santos. Who knows? I might make it up there when I do visit Duval. Uh, I can't guarantee. I don't know when I'm going to do it. Hopefully, LV, I'll have her man by her side by then. Uh, but yeah, it just you gotta have a plan. My plan is, and then you gotta have a backup plan, which my plan is to move around. And then you gotta have a backup plan to that. Hey, Lorraine, how you doing? Thanks for coming. And the plan A is to go to Cebu. Plan B is to look around and find another place. And plan C, maybe I'll go to a different country. And plan D or E, maybe back to the States. But like I said, if I do go back to the States, uh, I don't plan on staying in New York or Indiana for very long. Just long enough. Hey, Amy, how you doing? Uh, but just long enough to be able to set myself up to move down to either Florida or Texas, someplace warm. That's fine, uh, Tim. Uh, I don't plan on renting a house unless I move outside the city. I mean, in Cebu, it's going to be an apartment. And if it's small, that's fine. I don't need I got a lot more room than I need. I just, I need a kitchen, a bathroom, and, a place to do work and a TV. Now, uh, if I had a small apartment and I'm furnishing it, I might get a Murphy bed. For those of you that don't know what a Murphy bed is, it looks like it's a couch. You have the bed up, it goes up against the wall, and you got a place to sit. Some of them have a place to sit. Some of them, they just go up against the wall and then you bring them down to their bed. But like I said, they have a couch there. You sit on the couch and then you bring it down and it turns into a bed. So it gives you a little extra room. Uh, but if I got a one bedroom and it's small, that's fine. Uh, hey, you wouldn't like my bathroom or my kitchen here in this apartment. Uh, if two people are in the kitchen, you're bumping into each other. I can sit on the bathroom stool, reach forward and turn on and turn off my light, and that's the length of my tub. You have maybe a couple feet, about 2.5 feet, maybe 3 at the most, between the tub and the sink. And like I said, I can sit on the stool, lean forward, and turn the light on. That's how short the length is of the bathroom. So it's not very big either. Now I got a big bedroom. I I, I got a queen size bed in there, and I could go king. I got my queen in there. I got a computer table in there with a desktop, and I can still have a king size bed in that bedroom, no problem. It's that big. I got a very big uh, bedroom. My living room is almost as big, but in here, I got the TV. I got a couple shelves and stuff on the shelves. I got a sleeper sofa. I got a recliner. I got this kitchen. My kitchen table and living room is one room. Now, if the living room, our kitchen was separate, my living room would be gigantic for me. But it's not. It's all one room. If I didn't have a kitchen table in here, I'd put my TV up against this wall, turn things around, and would uh, make it a little different. But I think it would work better. But that's my opinion. I don't know because I've never done it. I'm not going to. Because then I'd have to put the table somewhere else, and then it works best here. And I'm setting up my kitchen table right now. All right, that's one of the shelves behind me. It's got my air fryer on it, bunch of cups and glasses up there, mostly cups and mugs. It's even got a couple shelves underneath that I can put stuff on. That's right at the edge of my living room kitchen. And I got another big old shelf over here, got all my pictures and stuff on it. And then I got another shelf down there, which is a bookshelf. So, like I said, I got quite a bit of stuff in here, but I still got room to walk around. I need to clean up in here, but I'm trying to get rid of stuff and haven't put it all away yet or thrown it away. I have cleaned out my storage room some. I still need to clean it out more. We'll get it done. That's the stuff I got to work on right now before I go to the Philippines. Just figure out what to throw away, what to keep, how many pieces of luggage I want. I got two, one carry-on, one check-in. Do I want another one or not? Right now, I'm leaning towards no. But I may have to change my mind on that. So that's the stuff I'm going through right now. Like I said, I'm gonna change my permanent home address to my nephew's. I'll probably do that sometime next year in January, maybe February, but no later than February. I'll do that, and I'll do that with both my bank accounts. Now next week, not this week. Well, not this week. A week from today, maybe, or a week from Monday, one of the two. I got to close it down one of my bank accounts. The only reason I'm waiting is to make sure I get all my auto pays out of that account. I think I do. But the last auto pay that I know that went in was on the 17th of last month. So I'm waiting until at least the 17th, which means I'll be working, which means the earliest I can close this one out will be Saturday. I'll go in and shut that account down. Well, the thing is, I'm going to be doing some vlogging, and I got the equipment. I got to take it with me. I don't want to get rid of my equipment and buy new equipment. So that can't go in my carry-on. That'll have to go into the checked luggage. So we'll do that. And then the carry-on is going to have my clothing and my shower kit, as we called it in the Navy. You probably did the same thing in the Air Force and the Army. You probably called them shower kits. I'll have to carry that. And then I'll have to take in my CPAP, but I'll get a prescription for that to show that I can take it, that I need to take it. That'll be part of my carry-on. And then my clothes. Depends on how much room I have in my carry-on, how much clothes I'll put into the checked luggage. Because I'm taking my shorts and my sun protective shirts and some ball caps. I do have a ball cap case that'll help protect the hats from being crushed by the other stuff. But yeah, like I said, I do have my camera equipment, my selfie sticks and that kind of stuff. You know, all that I have a couple cases full of that kind of stuff. The harness and stuff that you can wear, so you can put it on your chest or on your head or that kind of stuff. Well, it can't be any more than 20. Right now, the carry-on. I just bought brand new suitcases, and they're all TSA approved. Uh, they don't have any zippers, so you can't force it open that way. They got a latch. Now, I guess the TSA is supposed to have a way to get into it if they want to get into it without you, which, hey, if that's what they want to do, that's fine because I understand why they want to do it. If they see something suspicious, they want to make sure it's not, but it's safe. The thing I got to worry about is how do I carry the batteries for my camera? I got a DJI camera, action camera. So how do I carry those batteries into its within the TSA regulations? Uh, and then so I think I have to keep. They're not going to be in the camera. I already know that. The case I have, they're separate, and they're in the case, but they're not. They're in a separate place. So I don't know if that's good enough or what. I'll find out. I'm not taking a gimbal. I'm not sure what I have one, but I may just give that to my nephew. I've had it for a few years. That might be. Like I said, we'll find out. Uh, like I said, that's something I'll have to do the research when I go to do my. That's why I wanted to wait till after the first of the year, because I heard some of the rules are going to change after the first of the year. So I don't want to say, oh, well, you can do it now. Oh, no, you can't do it after this date. So when I book my airlines, I want to make sure, and I'm going to book my airline probably a couple months, a month and a half to 2 months early, maybe even 3 months early. So I'll have plenty of time. If that stuff is not good to go, I can replace it. I hope I don't have to because it's not cheap. But, and I got a thing coming. I know you got to watch your weight. I got a luggage scale coming that you do it by hand. So I'll be able to weigh them to make sure they're underweight or not overweight, because that also costs you extra if you can take it. They may not let you do. I haven't decided. I'm thinking about what is that? Starlux or maybe PAL or one of the Philippine airlines. I got to find out who flies to Cebu from JFK or New Jersey. Now, I know I'll have to do a stopover somewhere because I don't think on this side of the coast anybody flies directly to Cebu. But I don't want to stop in Manila if I can avoid it. Because then you'd have to switch from your international flight to a local flight or whatever they call it. And I understand that it can be a real hassle in Manila. If you have a suggestion, Tim, you're more than welcome to make it, especially if you flown to the East Coast from the Philippines. Because that's what I'm going to be doing is go from the East Coast to the Philippines. Because I think it would cost me. I think they do. Starlux does, but only from L.A. from my understanding. But they don't advertise it. That's my understanding. I could be wrong, but you check with Dan. I think Dan will tell you that. But I'd have to fly to L.A., get the flight, and that would probably cost me as much, if not more. Because how soon can I get there? Do I have to stay overnight? All that good happy stuff. I just don't think it would be worth it. And a lot of direct flights cost you more than if you have a layover somewhere or a stopover somewhere. I'd like to be able to stay on the same plane, have a stopover, like let's say in Korea, Taiwan, somewhere like that. Just have a stopover where you don't even have to get off the plane, then fly on into Cebu. But we'll see. I mean, I'm looking to go. I'm not looking to go economy, but I'm not looking to go first class either. I'm thinking about that, what they call it, super economy or whatever it is. It's an upgrade over regular economy. I'm thinking about maybe doing that, which is a step below business. So it'd be a little cheaper than business, but won't be quite as cheap as regular economy. You're supposed to get a little more leg room. I'm also going to look at the size of the seats because like I said, I'm a fat old man. So what's the width of the seat? And so I got to look at that as well. Uh, and I'm thinking about maybe trying to get a seat over the wing because you usually have a little more room there, especially for leg room. So yeah, these are things I'm going to start checking out in January. Like I said, I'm not planning on leaving until May, at the end of May or the 1st of June. So I think it gives me plenty of time to look and make my decision. Hey, Joey, Phil, how you doing? Thank you for coming. I see you're doing this cell phone one. So yeah, it just yeah, like I said, I would not mind flying from Taiwan to Cebu if I could do it from the East Coast. Uh, that would be fine with me. Because, like I said, then you go directly into Cebu, and I can avoid Manila. Uh, I do want to visit Manila. I just don't want to do it on when I first get there. My understanding is a hassle transfer for international to national, or I think I flying national. I guess the hassle changing from one uh, terminal to the other, from my understanding. So why not just avoid it if I can fly directly into Cebu from somewhere else, which is fine with me. That would be fine if I can fly in from somewhere else. I'm starting to plug up. And that happens when I said a lot sometimes. Uh, yeah, like I said, I just want to avoid the Manila airport if I can. I mean, if I'm flying nationally, like let's say I decide to go to Manila and I want to fly from Cebu to Manila, I'd be willing to do that. But I don't want to come in internationally, then have to change over to nationally from all I hear about that airport. Yeah, well, like I said, being I want to start off in Cebu, I want to fly to Cebu. Now, if there's a direct flight to Clark and then I transfer to Cebu, I'd do that. I just don't want a direct flight to Manila. Uh, so I want to avoid that. And like I said, I do want to visit Clark and Angeles City sometime. But I want first get my first apartment and stuff in Cebu. And I'll have Dan help me with that. He's got a place that he liked, so I'll get the information from him when I'm ready to make the appointment and set up with a place to stay. Probably it depends on what it costs me, whether it's for a week or a month. And if it's a really good price and I can do it for 3 months, I'll do it for 3 months. I think I can handle it for 3 months, even if I don't like it. Well, if I could fly directly into Clark, I would be willing to do that. I'll have to look at that, see if I can get a direct flight from uh, JFK or New Jersey, the other airplanes, a direct flight from there to Clark. I'll have to check into that because I would be willing to do that. Fly to Clark, then fly to Cebu. Uh, Now, see, the reason why I kind of want to go out of JFK, though, uh, Albany Airport up here has a bus shuttle. They run down from, I think it's like once a week or something. They run from the Albany Airport down to JFK. Now, it costs you $80. But It'll take you directly to JFK. You make your flight late enough that you fly out of JFK to give yourself plenty of time to get down there by that bus. Uh, and then you're not paying for a hotel room. And like I said, I'm not going to have a car, so I don't have to. I'll have a friend drop me off. If I can do it, I got to check to see if I can go in without. I think I can go in there, catch the bus, and go down without ever taking a plane from Albany. And or find out how much it costs to fly from Albany to JFK. But do that. That way I can sell my car when I come back here just before I leave, have a friend take me over, drop me off, and then I beat foot bogey to Cebu by way of JFK and wherever my stop is. So that's what I got to start looking at next month. Why I want to start looking at next month. It gives me a month or two to make my decision. Because like I said, I want to make my decision by the end of February at the latest. And probably, hopefully, by the end of January, the middle of February. And get those tickets bought. And then the one thing, and I learned this from one of the other bloggers. The one thing I got to make sure when I rent the Airbnb or the hotel room or whatever is I make sure that I don't book it on. Let's say I'm leaving here on Tuesday and I'm arriving there Wednesday our day, but maybe it's Thursday there. I got to make sure I got the right date that I've landed in the Philippines by the Philippine time and make my reservation for that. One of the vloggers I started following, he made a mistake that he didn't do that, but he was able to catch it when he found out what he did, and they allowed him to change it. But that don't mean they're always going to do that for you. He almost paid for like 1 or 2 days that he didn't need, and so I got to make sure I do the same thing, that I get the right date. So that was something I learned from one of the newer vloggers, because I know there's 12 hours difference, but you don't always think about it when you're making your reservations and stuff. Because like I said, remember I've been to the Philippines. I flew to China back in '99, and they're the same time as the Philippines. And so I know about the difference in time quite well and been through that, but did not think about how it would affect your reservations. And maybe I would have on my own eventually before I did it, but that puts it up here, so I know it's there, so I will think about it when I go make the reservation. So that was a good thing that happened for me, that I was able to figure that out. And so, yeah, we're going to try to enjoy this. I don't know if Elvie's still on. I didn't notice her statement earlier, but she said she's not feeling too good today. She's sick, so she won't be streaming. So, Elvie, if you're still on here, I hope you get feeling better soon. I'm plugged up. I think I'm not coming down with me. When I first come down with a cold, I get plugged up some, and when I'm getting over it, I do the same thing. I think I'm actually getting over a cold, because a couple of weeks ago I really had a bad running nose and stuff. So I think it's trying to break, but I could be wrong. Could just be from setting, because I get up and move around a lot of times. When I get like this, it clears up. But we'll have to see. I appreciate that, Tim. Remember, I will be on here again next week. I can use all the help I can get. But like I said, my first live stream is going to be from Cebu. And I already know the name of it. Is Guess Where I Am Now. And so everybody will know that I'm in Cebu. I'm in the Philippines. And hopefully enjoying myself. I know I will the first month. It's like when I moved down here from Rochester area up by my family. I loved it down here when I first came down here. I just absolutely loved it. It's that honeymoon phase, something new. And not everybody gets it, but I love something new. I love doing something different. And so I was just in love with the place. I still like it, but nothing like I did when, because that honeymoon phase is over. And now everything that's new is no longer new. It's what I'm used to. And well, I'm not beyond needing help. I may be beyond help, but I'm not beyond needing it. But so yeah, I just happened to enjoy myself. I happen to try to enjoy everybody else, and I just can't wait. I do know what two of the gifts are. The third one for everybody is going to either be a keychain or I'm back. Hey, Crystal, how you doing? Thank you for coming. Uh, now, Crystal, maybe you can help me out. One of the things I'm thinking about bringing as a gift for everybody, I want to bring more than just this. I'm debating on whether I should bring a refrigerator magnet or maybe a keychain with the state of Indiana on it. And then I'm thinking maybe I should bring both. And maybe have one be in New York and the other one be in Indiana. And so if you got a thought on that, let me know. I do have a couple other gifts I'm going to give. Uh, but that will be all right. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. Like I said, I have to decide. I think I will do one. I hope everybody hears me. I, every once in a while, I get the white circle of death. So I'm not sure if you guys are hearing me or not. Uh, I mean, when it goes to white circle of death, I'm sure you are right now. But there's a Jerry gave some uh, gifts that made me think of something to give myself. It will be different than what he gave, but similar. And I'm not talking about the bag, where I'm not going to be giving bags. I think y'all want chocolate. Now, I don't know how much chocolate I'll be able to bring from the United States. Maybe I'll buy you some chocolate when I'm there. Uh, if I visit you in your town, you, your family, and I will go out for something to eat. I'll do that for you for sure. Uh, whether it's pizza or Jollibees, I don't know. Uh, but we'll do something. And I know Mark wasn't able to partake when you met with Jerry, but you were able to meet with family. That's good. But I'll try to make it where Mark will be able to partake with our celebration. I plan on bringing two pieces of luggage, one carry on, one check in, because I'm bringing my camera equipment. And if I try to put that in my check on, I don't think I'll be able to get my. Hey, Jenna Mike, how you doing? Thank you for coming. I won't be able to get my clothing in there, I don't think. Plus, I also have my CPAP. So I'm thinking about putting my CPAP in the carry on along with my clothing. And then I'll put my camera equipment and some other stuff in with my uh, check in luggage. I plan on going straight to Cebu, yes. That's where I plan on starting. I'm going to go to Cebu. I want to try to get this done here. I know Cebu's got some good dental, a good hospital, so I want to go there for my dental, get that taken care of. I'll spend at least 3 months. Depends on how long it takes to do that, if I stay longer or not. I may stay longer even if it's done because I may like it, but I will visit other places. I'm not going to just settle down in Cebu and say, that's it, I'm not going anywhere. No, 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 no. If I wanted to go somewhere, set my butt down and not do anything at all, I could go to Florida or Texas and do that. I can afford to live there and not do anything. Just plop down and say, I'm not going to go visit anything. I'm not going to I'm just going to stay home. No, no. I do want to go out and see sights, which means in my case, I want to go to a couple different cities. I want to go to, like I said, Dumaguete and Valencia area. I want to go to Iloilo. I want to go to Davao, some other places. You're in Luzon. I want to go to Luzon as well. I'm going to go see Tim in Clark Angeles area sometime. I may go down to Subic Bay, Olongapo, where I was at in the Navy. I may go visit Elvie. I'll probably go visit you and Mark. But like I said, I can't say when. That's just it. I am not as I'm not as well off as Dan and Mad Minnie. My retirement won't be on the level of theirs. I will have to watch my money a little closer. But yeah, so it just, but that's the reason why I want to go to the Philippines is the weather and the people, and go see these places I've seen videos about, and I want to find a place that I'm happy at. Now, if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think it'll be Cebu. I think Cebu is going to be a lot larger than I want. We're going to have to come up with a new name for my channel. Triple L in the Philippines. I don't know. We'll have to come up with something. Where's Lazy Larry? I don't know. We'll come up with something. That one wouldn't work because I'd have to be moving all the time. Or we'll do something. We'll come up with a different name. But yeah, it just, we gotta enjoy life. Like I said, I've been working well over 50 years, well over 50. And I'm not talking about paper routes. If we go paper routes, I've been working over 60 years. So yeah, I've been working a long time, off and on, and I'm ready to call it quits and try to enjoy my life. My mother passed away this year at 99. Y'all know I lost two sisters in August, 2 days apart. Buried both of them in September, but I lost them in August. Like I said, 2 days apart. So it's been a tough year. So if I'm going to do this, I got to do it rarely, shortly, so I can enjoy it. Eventually, I'm going to get to the age where it's like I'm going to have to stay home more and not run around as much. And so, that's, I got to do it. Santa Larry on Philippines. Okay. But we'll see. Like I said, we'll come up with something. If I'm going to be Santa Larry, I need to grow my beard, though. So I'll at least have the white beard. I mean, I grow my beard. I do look a little more like Santa. I have that turkey neck, too. But yeah, like I said, I want to go to Cebu to get that taken care of. Crystal, I am excited myself. Like I said, I'm anxious. I don't mean nervous or apprehensive. I do mean anxious. I'm anxious to get started. There might be a little bit of nerves, but not apprehension. Nervous because this is a big move. Uh, yes, I moved cross country and not known anybody, but I was still in the United States. Uh, I moved where I only had a couple people I knew. Like when I moved out here to New York, it was just my sister and her family, and I didn't know anybody else. I moved down here. I have a couple friends that live down here. I did not know anybody else. But so I've done that, and I went in the Navy. I didn't know anybody when I went in the Navy. Went out to California, but I was in the United States. I knew what I was going to be meeting people that I was going to get to know. Whether we got along or not, I didn't know. I mean, but we were all in boot camp together, so we were all in the same boat. So that made it a little easier. And then even in the Navy, I got transferred from one ship to another. Didn't know anybody else where I was going, but there again, we were all in the Navy together. Uh, so we had that in common. We were all in the Navy. Uh, so that was easier, much easier. And same thing when I went to shore duty. I didn't know that I knew people. It turned out I did. I knew a couple people that were there, but I didn't know it when I went. And so, but so I am a little anxious because this is going to be, or nervous, you might say, because of the only people I know are you guys on YouTube, but we've never met face to face. You know, I've talked with Dan many times. Dan's been on my channel. I've been on Dan's channel many times a long time ago. I talked to Evie and Crystal and a few others like Tim and Jerry. Now Jerry's in the States, but uh, those are the people I know on YouTube. And the thing is, we haven't met. Now we get along here. I love talking with you guys. I love spending time with y'all. So, but we've not met face to face. So there is that nervousness there. I get to Cebu. I know Michelle Life's there, but she's in college. And if she's not when I get there, she may be somewhere else because she's starting to be a nurse. So she might be gone to be a nurse. I don't know Michelle as well as I do some others. Yes, I'm going to have Dad help me out, even if he's in bye bye, uh, because he knows a couple places that he knows I would like. Uh, and I'm going to have him give me the contact information for those places. And I that's one of the reasons why I want to go to Leyte, because it's Sir Dan and Mad Minnie, but there's also a couple other uh, YouTubers over there. There's Melanie and there's Daisy. They were not too far from Bye Bye. And for those of you that, yes, you did, Dad. I said, when I'm ready to go, I'm going to contact you and have you give me the contact information for that one place I want to stay at. So I can get a hold of them and make an appointment or make a reservation for the stay. And probably do that sometime in April because I don't plan on going until May or June. And so I want to make it in advance, but I don't want to do it now when I don't know for sure when I'm going to be there. Uh, so yeah, Dad. Like I said, then I want to go over to Leyte to uh, if you're not there, I can always visit with Melody and Daisy. But I'd like to go over there and visit up with you guys uh, for a day or two. Like I said, I want to go see that uh, statue of MacArthur coming ashore. That's one of the things I want to see in Leyte. Uh, But there's a lot of places I want to go see. One of the first places I'll probably go off of Cebu, the island of Cebu. When I leave the island, the first place I'll go is probably going to be Dumaguete and Valencia because they're right across. Uh, it's a short jump from one to the other. Uh, and plus, we'll, we'll, we'll take the directions, Crystal. Uh, like I said, I'll catch up with you. We'll definitely catch up. I'll catch up with you. I want to catch up with Elvie. Uh, there's, and if I get up to Manila area, Anna May, I want to catch up with Anna May. Like I said, if I can catch up with Michelle Life and some others in Cebu, there's some others I just can't remember who's in Cebu, and so we'll do that. But yeah, Dan, are you in both live streams? Yeah. So anyway, like I said, it just I so many places I want to see. I probably won't be able to see them all, but I will see as many as I can. And like I said, I promised myself minimum a year. I'm thinking about minimum a year and a half. I really don't think Cebu will be the place I want to stay. I think it's going to be too large for me, if you want to know the truth. Uh, I just think it's going to be too busy. When I was younger, it would probably have been perfect. In my 20s and 30s, it would have been perfect. Well, Dan, right now, I get on my laptop here, I get all the conversation from both video live streams. There's two live streams. Now, on my phones, I get one or the other because I have to pick which one to go into. Oh, Jack, how you been? Been a long time. I hope you're doing well. Like I said, well, Jack, I'm going to be in Cebu next year. I'm retired. Oh, the end of March or the first week or two of April. I haven't come to the exact date that I want to retire, but it's going to be one of those. Because I do want to get my motorcycle endorsement, and I can't do that till April. And then I got to sell off all my furniture, and then I'm going to keep my car, go back to Indiana, visit my family back in Indiana, come back to New York, visit the family I have here, then come back down here to Albany area, visit my friends here, and then sell my car, uh, get on a plane, and head to Cebu. My first live stream in Cebu will be guess where I am now. So that's everybody's clue to let them know I'm in the Philippines. Uh, I didn't know there's three live streams. I know two. I know there's two live streams. There's one for the phone and one for the laptop format. I'm thinking about doing away with the phone one and just doing the laptop next week. I'm not real happy with this. Uh, I see Jack's in both of them. That's fine, Jack. Come on up. Been a while, but so yeah, it just I am just like I said. I am anxious. I am excited. You could say nervous, I guess, because but it's not bad nervous. I mean, it's not like I'm not apprehensive. Is what I'm saying. Uh, but yeah, like I said, I'm trying not to get too anxious. That makes it harder to sleep. The one thing I never had to worry about when I was in the Navy was what we call channel fever. Uh, Channel fever is when you've been out to sea for a while and you're getting ready to pull back into port and you can't sleep because you're ready to get off the ship. You're ready. You're anxious. Uh, you're not nervous. You're just anxious. You're excited, and that can cause some people not to be able to sleep. I never suffered from that. I was always able to sleep the night before, get up, and go. I mean, I'd be excited to get off the ship, but I was never anxious about it as far as not being able to sleep. So I never did suffer from channel fever, although I'll be honest with you, I may suffer from it when I finally retire and get ready to leave for the Philippines. And if I do, that'll be the first time I had channel fever. But that'll be the night before I leave. It shouldn't bother me much before that. Which would be actually, in some ways, would be a good thing because that would probably mean I would be able to sleep on the plane and get a decent sleep going over. So I'll be able to change over, hopefully. Now, when I went to China back in '99, I did not have jet lag going over. I was only over there for 3 weeks, but I got over there. I adjusted, hit the ground. I was okay. I rested the first day because it was, I want to say, a 16-hour flight. And we flew out of Detroit and right into Beijing. We went up and over to, so it was a little quicker that way. But I was able to sleep on the plane some going over. But when we came back, that's when I had jet lag. I already told you I had sleep apnea. Well, it kicked in, and with the jet lag, I just couldn't get my rest. And so until I got the machine, and that was in 2000. Like I said, I went over in August of '99, got back just around September of '99, and I got my machine around. Crystal, the flight may be longer than that. Because, like I said, when I went to Beijing, it was nonstop. We flew directly. It was right from Detroit straight to Beijing. There was no stop in between. We flew up over the North Alaska and all that. We went up over. The rotation of the Earth kind of kept it from being much longer than that. But going to Tim, that's good. But I got to find a flight. If I can get a flight directly from JFK to Clark, if I can, then I can do that, and that's what I'll do. If I can fly in directly into Clark from here and not make any other stops, I'll do that and change over. Hey, Tommy, how you doing, man? How you doing, Tommy? Thanks for coming. So anyway, and Tommy, if you what he's talking about is 6 flights. It's a flight from Clark in Cebu. I mean, on Luzon in the Philippines to Cebu on Cebu Island. Well, then I may not go that way. I'll have to see if there's one maybe out of New Jersey anywhere. Uh, but like I said, I don't. I only want one stop if I can do it. 2 stops would be the most I'd want. Uh, I know the more stops, a lot of times it's cheaper, not always, but so we're just that's something that I do have to start looking at. Because, like I said, I don't want to spend any more money than I really have to, but I'm not flying economy. I just think those seats would be too small for a guy as big as I am. I may have to fly business class as big as I am. I know this. I know Southwest used to let you buy 2 seats, and you could get reimbursed for the second one, but that's local flying only, and they've changed that rule. No North American flights land at Clark. Okay, so I'll have to find another way to go. We'll look, like I said, maybe flying through Clark after going somewhere else may be cheaper than flying somewhere else and directly to Smoot. I'll have to check that out. And like I said, I'll start doing that next month because I still have to figure out exactly when I'm retired so I can decide. Well, not exactly when I'm retired. I got to decide exactly when I'm leaving because I'm going to leave no matter when I retire. I'm leaving either late May or early June. I'm either going to retire at the end of March or first week or two of. All right, Crystal, we'll see about that. Good chance. Like I said, if I can get a decent flight into Clark, maybe I'll even take a day or two off. But I don't know if I want to go to fly to Los Angeles if I can keep from it, Tim, because that just adds more cost because I got to pay from New York to Los Angeles, maybe spend the night, maybe not, depends on the flights, then fly. So unless it's cheaper that way, I won't go to LA. LAX would be all right, but it just is it cheaper to go from LA or JFK to LA then over, or is it cheaper to go from JFK over then? I got to look at that. I'm not adverse to going to flying into LA, catching a fly out of there, and going to Taiwan, but I am adverse to paying more money to do that. Like I said, if I can do it from yeah. I don't think I want to go to United Kingdom. From my understanding, is they want to charge, even if you don't get off there, they want to charge you money for landing in London, anywhere in the UK, or in Britain itself, I should say, England. Whether you get off there or not, they want to charge you some money there just to fly into there. And but yeah, I may go. Like I said, Dad, I know I don't want to go to Manila, Dad. I do not want to go through Manila. Let's forget that. I don't want to go. I don't want to go through Manila. I want to either go to Clark or I want to go to Cebu, and then from Clark I'll go to Cebu. But no, all right, hang on, Jack. How you doing, Jack? Man, you
Doing
look like
good.
you got a little more gray hair.
Yeah, until I do this and it's all gray down here. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh man, I'm getting old.
I don't want to hear it, Jack. You're a whole lot younger than I am. And
I know.
at least you got hair.
It looks like I'm getting thin.
Yeah, you're getting thin, but look at that.
Damn.
I got plenty on the side, but not on the top. And if I grow my beard's white. I
Like
look
Santa
like
Claus.
Santa. Oh yeah, I got a white beard. It's not gray. My beard is white. So, like I said, I look like Santa if I grow my beard. But like I said,
It's
then
like
again, I hide my turkey neck.
it's like I'll cut my hair, like shave it, like completely shave down. Next day, look at myself. I get mad because I see the hair, the gray is coming back. I'm like,
Well, I keep my
I'm
hair
not young
short.
anymore.
During the summer, I grow it out more. This is my winter cut. A lot of people think, what? That should be your summer. No, it's my winter cut. Because if I want to wear something to keep the face warm, like a ski mask or something, if you got long hair, you pull it off and your hair just goes bling all over the place. So by having it short, if I want to wear that, it doesn't mess up the hair. And so that's my winter cut.
That
But
makes me
right now, I'm
so
glad I'm in New York and not in my hometown of Terre Haute. They're getting 5 to 6 inches of snow tonight or today.
mm.
We're not getting any right now, so
I'm not getting any snow here in the Philippines, so.
uh, that's why I'm moving to the Philippines, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. I'm tired of winter, and
I
like
saw
I
you're
said,
talking about
I'm going to give myself.
going to LAX or something, but
I don't know if I'm going to go
that
through
airport
LAX.
using is all hell.
Like I
A
said, I'm
lot
not
of
sure which way
walking.
I'm going, but we'll
He
figure
said
it out.
he said your big ass don't be walking everywhere, but LAX that's confusing as hell. But I did take a flight from Detroit all the way to Seoul,
Yeah. Well,
then to Manila, then to Bacolod.
see, I don't want to go through Manila. All right. What I want to do is I either want to go through Clark or Cebu, which means I have to land outside of the Philippines and take a flight into there because there are no direct flights from here to either place that I know of. But I don't
Yeah,
mind making one stop.
if you want
If I
to
can avoid
avoid
if I can
Manila,
avoid
fly
Manila,
into
I just should
Cebu.
do that. Hey, Christina.
Yeah, if you want to avoid Manila, Manila, fly into Cebu.
Yeah, yeah. I know I can fly into Manila and go to Cebu. I just don't want to do it. I I don't want to deal with Manila's airport. I hear
It's rated number one as the worst airport in the whole world.
that's what I'm saying. I've heard that, and so I just really don't want to deal with it.
I was waiting for a flight. I was trying to leave here, but I ended up there in Manila. The security guard is like takes his. He's like sitting behind a little podium, takes his shoes off, and props his feet up on the counter, and he just passes out.
Well, like I said,
With a firearm on him. I'm
one of
like,
these days I'll probably fly into Manila, but it'll be from inside the Philippines. So I
mm,
don't. Is that changing from the international to the national? You know, like whatever it is, international is like one and the other's three or something like that. Changing between the terminals, from what I hear, is a real bear as well, and I just don't want to deal with that. Uh, Plus, like you said, it is considered the worst airport, at least in Asia, if not the world.
in
And
the
so,
in the world.
yeah, I'm just saying I've heard that. And hey, Billy Sellers, thank you for coming. We appreciate you being here. Uh, like I said, we're talking now. Jack is in the Philippines. That's where I plan on retiring to next year. And I'm going over in May or June next year. It'll be the last of May, 1st of June. I have to look and see which. A lot of that will have to do with
Hey,
when I leave,
June
which one
3rd
would
is
be a
my
little
birthday.
cheaper. Today's your birthday? Well, happy birthday,
No, June 3rd. June 3rd.
June 3rd. That's one of the days I'm thinking about going is the 3rd because that's a Wednesday, I believe.
Mm,
So I want to go like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday probably because I hear the middle of the week's cheaper. See what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So I want to go like in the middle of the week. So it'd be June 3rd here, it'd be June 4th in the Philippines probably. But or I may go like a week earlier in May. I just got to see which one's going to be cheaper. Uh, so that is something I'll be deciding next month or in February. Which one's going to be cheaper? What airline I take? What stops I'll make? Uh, so
I will never fly United ever again.
I won't be going United overseas. My flight, and if I can do it, like I said, I want to
Great
fly.
airlines.
I want to go down to JFK and fly out of there. Now, whether I fly to LAX and over, or can I fly out of there and over? Without going to LA.
Depends on how much money you want to spend.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to look at the cost. Whichever way is cheaper is the way I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's cheaper to fly to LA than over, then guess what I'm doing?
Yeah, I looked at a flight for a friend of mine. So it'd be like from Ohio to Bacolod here.
Yeah.
and it's like $2,500 round trip.
Yeah, that's round trip.
But remember, you need to at least get a ticket that you're leaving.
An onward ticket. I don't need round trip. I need a
Throwaway
ticket.
Throwaway ticket.
You know,
And
and
you just buy the cheapest ticket.
I'm
Like
going to find the cheapest, whether it's to Singapore or Vietnam or Thailand or whatever. It's going to be the cheapest ticket I can find onward. You leave like 29 days later and just get rid of it.
Immigration didn't even care you. You just stay here.
Yeah. And I got plenty of time. I got plenty of time left on my passport. You only got to have 6 months. I got a couple of years left still, so I'm in good shape there.
Oh, mine expires 2028.
What's that? 2028 for what?
My passport.
Oh, mine's I think mine's 2030. I think, if I remember right. But we're going to do some research, Tim. There'll be travel agents and Google and all that good happy stuff.
Don't do cheapoair.com.
I'm just going to do Google and put in there flights with 1 or 2 layovers to Cebu from New York JFK and see what they got.
Weird. You can't fly directly into Bacolod City, even though the airport calls itself International Airport. No, it's not.
Well, you can fly directly into Cebu or Clark outside of the country. You can't do it from the United States, but you can do it from other countries like Taiwan and places like that.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. And Tim agrees with you, Jack. He says cheapo air sucks.
In the customer service, like, that's got stamped.
But so yeah, we're just we're getting excited and like I said, anxious, but not in a bad. I'm not. How shall I say that? I said it earlier. Not apprehensive. I'm not apprehensive about it, but I am anxious to get started. Tim says there is no customer service.
Yep.
But so anyway, I've been working for over 50 years, off and on, and the older you get, the worse your health will get. And I'm still healthy enough to do it, so I don't want to wait too much longer. And like I said, I did lose my mother in March and 2 of my sisters at the end of August. So both of them are older than I am, but both of them has had health problems for a long time. But
I need to add some more coffee to my coffee.
Chris, I just don't know how much a travel agent in the Philippines can help me, because I'm going out of here in the United States. Now, if I was going the other way, they'd be able to help me. But also, I don't want to go through Naya. I don't want to go through Manila. So, travel agent could probably help with that even in the Philippines. But could they help me here in the States? Is the question.
Better off doing something just searching online.
But so yeah, it would be great to work with a Filipino travel agent, whether it's here in the States or overseas, because they would understand about the throwaway ticket. And so, and there might be such a thing down in the Philippines. I mean, in New York City.
I think I've only used like that Cheapo Air crap or Travelocity.
Yeah. Hey Tim, hold on. Hey Tim, take care now. And Rainey, thank you for coming. But yeah, Tim says it's time for him to go. He's probably going to meet up with his girlfriend. But yeah, like I said, right now I am going to the Cebu. My first live stream in the Philippines will be Guess Where I Am Now. That'll be the name of the live stream. So if you see that one, you know I'm in the Philippines.
Maybe, hopefully, not a mad one, because we could tell where you're at. It'll be in Manila.
Well, really, I don't plan on doing it until I'm in Cebu.
Hmm.
So
Make sure you download the Grab app to get taxi, because they're gonna see you. Oh, old white guy, easy money.
Well, what you got to do is,
at the
from
airport.
from my understanding, you want to take the white taxis. You got to walk past the first group of taxis. Those are the ones that want to. Oh, we give you special rate.
Your cheapest way is to get a grab car.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, if you're going to take a taxi, you just walk past that first group of taxis because they all want to. Oh, we'll give you special rate, and you go to the white ones, and they will use their meter. So that would be the better way to do it as far as taxis. If you got the Grab, you're right, but I don't know if I'll be able to download the Grab here in the States.
Because like years ago when I came here, I seen another white guy. He's going to Palmas del Mar, which is further past my house, and they're trying to get him for about $100. I'm like, no, no.
That's what I said. Yeah, you don't take those special rates.
Like 1,000 pesos, $20.
Yeah, but no, like you said, though, I'll either do the white taxi or Grab.
And ask them if you get in a tax like that. Ask them for a receipt.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to give you a receipt, go to the next one. Because
Yeah.
legally, by law, they have to give you a receipt.
Yeah, but so yeah, like I said, though, I just I've they're just so much. I'm starting to follow these vloggers that have just got over there because I've been on YouTube since 2016. Not with my own channel. I didn't start my channel till 2017, and I'm not talking about vlogging. I didn't start vlogging until about 2023. Okay.
I didn't start my channel till I think it says 2013, but I didn't start doing it for
Well,
I started 3 years ago or something like that.
I was working at a site. Well, I was working at a post because I was at the site before that and after that. But I was working at this one post that I sat there and did this most of the, a lot, just twiddled my thumbs because I was only busy at the very first of the month and the very end of the month. The first couple of days of the first and the last couple of days of the month. That's the only time I was really busy because I was a receptionist, clerk, security guard. 3 jobs. But the clerk part, they waited till the end of the month to bring everything in. So you had to put everything in at the end of the month so the customers could get paid or the vendors could get paid. Okay. And the rest of the time, unless somebody was coming in, hey, Valdez, how you doing? And she's saying hello to you too.
Hello.
And but I mean, they bring in all these invoices that I had to put into the computer system so their vendors could get paid, the people they bought stuff from. I worked at a automotive research and development company. And so the last couple of days or the last week of the month, everybody would be bringing down all their invoices for me to input. Pinky Gray, how you doing? And so anyway, the rest of the time I'd be sitting there just chilling. And so I thought, well, everybody's talking about YouTube. Let me check it out. And I started watching. And you can watch without having a channel. And so that's what I was doing. I was just watching. Thank you, Pinky. And I don't know if you know Pinky or Valdez. I plan on retiring end of March next year or the first of part of April, and I'll be in the Philippines by the end of May or the 1st of June. Just let y'all know. I'll be in Cebu. But anyway, so I started watching and I started following this one vlogger called Chris in Cebu. I don't know if you know Chris or not. And he would do, when I first started following him, he was just doing videos. And I couldn't make any comments on these videos without having a channel, which was fine. I really didn't care that much about that. But when he started doing live streams, I couldn't communicate on the live streams without having a channel. And that was in 2017. I set up my channel so I could comment in the live stream and ask questions and stuff. And so and at first I didn't do, like I said, in 2017, well, I didn't do my first video until I want to say April of 2023. So quite a few years later. And I did my first video because everybody's asking me, well, see, on Chris in Cebu, there was me, Larry Lee. There's another guy named Larry B, another guy named Larry G, and there was a couple other Larrys, but they had different last names. So Larry B, Larry G, and Larry Lee, we sound too much alike. So somebody, if he wanted to ask one of us a question, I decided to go ahead and change my name to Lazy Larry. And so everybody was asking me how come I used the name Lazy Larry. Because I'd always say, well, I just got off work or, I just got home from work or whatever. And they said, you're always working. How come, you go by Lazy Larry? And so I told them that's why, because of all the people in the chat. And they sort of, Michelle, how you doing, Michelle? Thank you for coming. Michelle Lee happens to be one of the people, the vloggers that live in Cebu City that I know through here. But anyway, I only know her as a vlogger, But so anyway, that's why I started vlogging. I made that vlog telling everybody how I got the name Lazy Larry and Lazy Larry Lee, or Lazy Larry at the time, and why I used it. And I enjoyed the talking head part, so I did a couple others and decided to do a little more. And then I found out everybody was having a hard time finding me as Lazy Larry because there was these cartoon characters, or a cartoon character called Lazy Larry. And there was pages of his cartoons before you ever got to me. So that's when I added my last name and became Lazy Larry Lee. I put that in. I was the first thing to pop up if you type in Lazy Larry Lee. As far as I know, I still am. But that's why I changed my channel from Lazy Larry, Larry Lee to Lazy Larry Lee. Long story short. But that's all right, Michelle. I've been going for a while. Sometimes I get in a gab fest. I've been going over 2 hours. It's a little longer one than normal, but that's all right. But because I'm in a good mood today. My team won today. Army, Navy won. Hey, Navy. You want to talk about a close game? 17-16. Yeah, that was a close game. But
I'm sure that feels bad to lose by a point.
Well, actually, Bruce is my cousin. There, Tommy. Yeah. Related, believe it or not, related on my mom's side. But
So
my family tree is straightened up by itself.
You did a vertical live stream?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a vertical and then there's a horizontal. There's both.
You did it through StreamYard?
Yeah. I'm thinking about dropping the vertical later. Next week, I may not have the vertical. I may just have the one live stream. I mean, you can still get on your cell phone. It's just going to be the one, one. Because when you look at your studio, it shows that it's two separate live streams. Mm-hmm. And it shows how many was in one and how many was in the other. And I don't know if they combine them for overall, but They always show them as two separate.
Yeah, because I'm seeing, I get to see the horizontal and the vertical.
Yeah, because you're on your laptop.
PC.
All right, but I'm just saying you're on a PC. Okay. See, I'm on my laptop, and I get to see it both.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I've never seen it.
this one
I've never
here
seen
is
this
the
before.
horizontal. That one there is the one off to my left is the vertical. And
Yeah, I've never seen it that way before.
yes, Michelle, I hope to see you soon. Like I said, I plan on being there in late May, early June. Get together with you and maybe your cousin or somebody, and we'll have Jollibee or something.
I might have to hop on a boat.
Well, if you're going to be in Pocola, now isn't that close to Iloilo?
Iloilo is closer than Cebu. Yeah.
Because I want to visit Iloilo sometime too.
Mm-hmm.
So, if nothing else, when I go to Iloilo, maybe one of us could go the other way and get together then. But my first 3 months, I don't know. Can you see that?
Mm.
I'm going to get that done in Cebu. I'm going to get that
Yeah,
flipped.
it'd be a load cheaper to get it done in the Philippines than back home.
Well, just to do this part, they're looking at $4,000 to $5,000. The cheapest. All right. Now that would mean later on, if I had to have some more teeth replaced, it wouldn't be any good for helping with that. To get it done where I don't have to do the whole part, but to get it done if I ever had to do the whole part, it would be set up to help. It wouldn't cost a lot more. It cost more, but not a lot more. It'd be at least $10,000.
My mom had all of hers ripped out.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about have the permanent,
expensive ones.
Yeah, the permanent ones. And
She
if
ended
I
up
want to
going-
do
she ended up going to New York.
the whole upper, if I want to do the whole upper, well, now remember now we're talking here in New York about $25,000.
Okay.
Tell me about it, because I looked into having it done,
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna get myself. I got a phone call.
and just to do it the way I would want to do it would cost me another year. That's the $10,000. I'd have to work another year to do that, and to do it the other way would cost me at least 2 years. So I'm not willing to do that. I'd just as soon have it done in the Philippines.
Yeah, I need to make an appointment one day. Hopefully, maybe next
Well,
month.
it'll take a few. It's gonna because I'm gonna have the permanent done, so it'll take a couple visits, maybe 2 or 3 months.
And you get like a deep cleaning and a lot of fixing of.
Well,
some cracked
I'm
teeth.
gonna have to have some bone replaced.
Mm.
Okay, that's one of the reasons why it's going to be so expensive. It's got to have some bone replaced, and so it'll cost me. I could probably get just what I was wanting to get here, not the whole thing, for less than what I would pay for just a part that would not be worth much. It'd be more of a hassle than a help. So, Tom, that's up to you, man. Either one you want to do. But yeah, like I said, I got both. I think next week I'm just going to have the horizontal. I don't think I'll have the vertical. But I'll have to set that up when I set up my next one. I'm trying to think of what to call the next one. Maybe just Merry Christmas. Who knows? What the heck was that? But so yeah, we're just so glad that it's really getting down there. It's kind of hard to believe how close I'm getting, but yet still so far away. I can't wait till this winter's over with. Well, Michelle, the reason why I have two live, double live stream is because of StreamYard. They recommend this format. I don't like it, so I don't think I'll do it again. I've done it a couple of weeks in a row. This is my third or fourth week, and I'm not real happy with it. So I think I'll go back to just one format, which will be the horizontal, because it works better on my laptop, and that's where I do my live streams is on my laptop. So I'll probably do that next week. I'll probably just have the one. And so everybody, no matter what they're using to join, it will be the same format for everybody. So everybody will be able to see each other's comments. And so that'll be, I think it'll work better for me. But yeah, so right now we're trying to get everything straightened out. I'm trying to learn how. I've been watching some videos on how to edit videos with CapCut. I'll keep watching, then I'll start seeing if I can do it. And I got a new action camera I'm learning how to use. I think I got that one figured out. I have a gimbal, but I'm not going to use it. I don't want to try to transfer everything. I'll probably end up giving the gimbal to my nephew, along with some other stuff. Because I'm not taking all my equipment up, but I am taking my newest equipment for streaming. I'm not, anything else I can replace when I need it if I want it. But like I said, I don't want to take loads and loads of luggage. I want to keep my luggage under 50 pounds. I'm taking a carry-on and a check. And that's right now. Well, I'm trying to keep it to just those two things. If I can't, it'll be 2 checks and 1 carry-on. So that's what we're looking to do there. And like Jack was saying earlier, and so was Tim and everybody else that's from the states that went to the Philippines, is I'll have to get a ticket, one-way ticket with what we call a throwaway ticket. The throwaway ticket is a cheap ticket that shows you're leaving the Philippines with the 29 days after you arrive, because you get one good for after you arrive, so they'll let you in because that's what's required. And then you just throw it away and you just go ahead and stay for your 3 years before you have to leave. Of course, you got to renew your visa after the first month. Then you can do it every 2 months after that. From my understanding, if I decide I really want to hold on a minute, folks, I gotta. No, it's all right, just that one. But if I decide I really want to stay and try to make a home in the Philippines after I've been there for a while, I may try to see if I qualify for a SRRV under the military. I'm former Navy, so see if I qualified for that. That'd be the cheaper way to go as far as SRRVs. Well, the cheapest if you marry a Filipino, but that could be the most expensive too if it doesn't work out. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't want to do it when I first get there. Now, the money you put in to hold on that visa, if you decide it's not for you, you can take that money and go home. Okay. But the money you pay to apply for that visa is gone. So that's why you want to make sure you think you really want to stay. It's not so much the money you put down that they hold in the bank account. It's the money that you have to pay to apply for that visa. Because you'll lose that no matter what. Even if you're not approved, you lose that. So you really want to make sure that's what you want to do. And the only way I'll know that is after I've been there for a while. Once I find my happy place, the place I want to retire at and stay and do my travels from there, that's when I'll make that decision. If I never find it, that means I won't stay because I got to have my happy place. I got to have a place that I feel comfortable, that I like the people around me. And so that's what I'm looking for. And like I said, I doubt seriously. Tommy, uh, I can't say I won't. I cannot say I won't do that. I can't say I don't have any plans to do that. But yeah, it just, you know, I'm 70 plus, single. Do I really want to get married at this age? I know this much. I don't want kids. So I won't be married a young woman. Because you marry someone in their late teens, 18, 19, 20s, 30s, probably even 40s. If they can, they want kids. I don't want to be raising, I like kids, but I don't want to be raising kids at my age. I probably won't. I probably won't live long enough to get them out of high school. You know, I might. Maybe I'll live as long as my mother, who lived to be 99. So older than that, dead man. Uh, I'm not looking for one under 40. I'll guarantee you that. That don't mean I won't find one. Don't mean I won't marry one. I'm just not looking for one under 40. I'm not even looking for one 40.
Hey Lee, I'm gonna hop off of here.
All right, I probably won't go much longer. I'll probably call it quits here in just a few minutes. Like I said, I've been going for over 2 hours and 20 minutes. So
Whoa.
You've been on here for a little. You got on here a little. You've probably been on here close to half an hour to an hour, somewhere in there.
I'm gonna guess around 45.
Yeah, like I said, somewhere between half hour and an hour, somewhere in there. So I went longer than I was. I usually go about an hour or a little over.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I don't know if you remember Leonard Blood.
Yes.
Gentleman passed away not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard and I would get on here, just the two of us, and we go 4 or 5 hours just talking.
Mm.
Yeah, we'd talk.
I've had some crazy long live streams.
Yeah.
Then I had to open up different StreamYard accounts.
Well, that's why I pay for StreamYard. Because if you have the free one, you can only have, like, just beside yourself, maybe 4 or 5 people come up. Well, that's fine. Don't need a lot. But you can only do so many hours a month.
Yeah, 20 hours.
With me and Leonard, we were up against that limit every month.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, I'll just pay for it and I don't have to worry about how long I go. And I can have, like, now, like 8 or 9 people come up besides myself by paying for it. So that's why I pay for it. And it's just one time a year you pay for it. Now, later on, I may drop that. When I retire, I might drop it back down to the free one. But, we'll see. But, yeah.
All right. Thanks for having me. I'm going to hop off of here.
Well, I appreciate you coming.
There's one call from back in Michigan.
We'll talk to you some other time, man.
All righty. Take care, man.
All right. Take care.
See you, chat.
All right. All right, everybody. So, yeah, like I said, I am truly looking forward to it. I am anxious. Anxious in that I'm ready to get it started. Anxious, apprehensive, only in that I've never gone somewhere like this by without having somebody there that outside of when I went in the Navy. And then, I met people. You met people right away because you were in the same company and you were in the same boat, so everybody was the same. I understand that, Tommy. Like I said, I started checking into this back in 2017. And back then I was trying to decide between the Philippines and Thailand. I would follow a Filipino vlogger, and for every Filipino vlogger I followed one from Thailand. And the more I looked into it, the more I decided that the Philippines was the way I wanted to go. So I stopped following as many, and eventually I quit following all the vloggers in Thailand. I just quit following all of them, and I only follow the Filipino vloggers because that is where I wanted to go. That was my decision. Diosi, how you doing, Diosi? I'm not sure I'm pronouncing your name right or not, but thank you for coming. But anyway, like I said, when I narrowed it down and knew the Philippines is where I wanted to go, I cut Thailand out. And now the Philippines had a few things, in my opinion, that put it over the top of Thailand. Thailand has a better infrastructure. But they drive on the wrong side of the road. Unless you're in the tourist areas, you may not be able to talk to anyone because English is not a second language like it is in the Philippines. And first and foremost, the Filipino people. Remember, I was in the United States Navy and I served with a lot of Filipinos, and every one of them I knew were good people. Their families were good people. So that was yeah. So it was it came down to an easy choice for me. Well, tell me they do speak English, but it's mostly in the tourist areas where the expats are at. You go out I can go almost anywhere in the Philippines and find somebody to speak English. Now, it's may not be American English, but we'll be able to converse. That's not the case in Thailand. Now, if you go to Bangkok, you go to Chiang Mai, a few other areas, yeah, you're going to have people that speak English. But there's a lot of expats in those areas. There's a lot of tourists in those areas. You get out into Chiang Rai, there may not be. So there's a lot of areas where not too many expats ever go, and the English, you may not find somebody that speaks English. So it's a lot. Plus, all the road signs in the Philippines are in English. They're not in Thailand. Like I said, there are pluses to Thailand, but the visa and the people and the English trumps all the pluses for Thailand for me. It may not for somebody else. There's a lot of people that like Thailand, and that's where they're at. Good for them. I did check it out. I did look into it, but I decided it's not what I wanted. Hey, Hannah, how you doing? Thank you for coming. But yeah, so like I said, it just, and the more I looked into it, and there's so many different places in the Philippines that I want to check out. Like I said, Cebu, and that's from a lot of you probably never heard of him, but Chris and Cebu. It was a Phil-Ann couple. Kasha. Maybe mispronouncing Kasha. If I am, I'm sorry. But welcome. I'm doing well. I hope you are too. But Chris and Cebu was a Phil-Ann couple. They used to live in Chicago. They both worked in the medical inputting, charges and stuff like that. They did that in Chicago. They both ended up getting laid off around the same time. I can't remember who got laid off first. The other got laid off a little later. It was a white American and a Filipina. And she was there. They met in the United States. She wasn't, he didn't bring her over as a bride. They met in the United States, dated, and got married. I don't know if I think she was originally from the Philippines, but was over there legally working. And they ended up getting married, had a daughter. And they were living outside of Chicago, and it was costing them a lot of money. And as a couple, they decided that they'd be better off in the Philippines, even though he wouldn't be able to work, she would be able to. And they had, I guess, good chunk of money saved. So they went to the Philippines. She got a job. He stayed home, took care of the daughter, started a YouTube channel, and he used to do live streams walking around Cebu in the capital district mostly, because that's where he got his best signal at. And I started following him, so I know Cebu. In that one area, I could find my way around that. That's down around the circle. That area there, he was down there a lot. And so that's one of the things that got me interested in Cebu. Like I said, I was in the Navy in Subic Bay, Olongapo area. So I kind of knew that area. Then I started following some people. I found a guy that was in Iloilo. I followed him for a while. Checked out Iloilo. Met a guy through Chris in Cebu. His name was Deval Don. He used to go to Deval a lot, so I started checking out Deval. And I started checking out these different places. And so, it kind of gave me some areas I wanted to go check out. There's another guy I follow on a different channel, on my Ninja channel. He's also in Luzon. He's in, I'm trying to remember the name of the place. But it starts with an L, but it's on Luzon. Nice looking area. I don't think I'd want to live there, but it'd be an area I wouldn't mind seeing sometime. Another guy, he lived in Cavite area, not Cavite itself, but the Cavite area. And so anyway, started following him. He was the Filipino info channel. Watched all of his videos for a long time. His area looks kind of nice. It's not too far from Tao. What is that? Tecate or Tagate? It's got that crater. It's got that volcano in the middle of a lake. He lives not too far from there. He doesn't live there, but he lives not too far. So that's an area I wouldn't mind seeing. Cavite is an area I would think about, which is not too far from Manila, but it's outside of Manila. So like I said, there's Iloilo, Bacolod. There's a lot of areas that I've seen and I want to check out. And most of them are not tourist areas. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's tourist areas close to them, and that's why you want to check out those areas. Merry Christmas. Thank you in advance. Yeah, in the Philippines, it's 11 days. Here, it's 12 days till Christmas. It was on a Thursday this year. I'm going to, where I work at is shut down on Thursday, on Christmas and New Year's Day both, but they're working the day after both weeks. So I decided to take a vacation and not work Christmas or the day after either one, just get paid for it. Tama, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm not sure where you're at. Now, Tama, where are you located at? I'm doing where, Tama? Now, where do you live? Are you in the Philippines, the United States, or somewhere else? Now, how did you find me, Tama? I appreciate you coming. Now, Tama, how did you find me? Let me see here. A Coin Society, how you doing? Let me check something out. Now, Coin Society, where are you located at? Well, that's cool. Hey, look, that happens, man. I mean, sometimes YouTube decides you need to check something out, maybe because you like live streams, or just kick me up. Maybe because maybe you're interested in the Philippines or the United States. That's where I'm in the United States, going to move to the Philippines eventually next year, actually. Uh, but yeah, I live right outside of the capital of New York, which is Albany, New York. I live right outside of it. Uh, Tommy, you can forget Balut, Luchan Bad Boy, and Sig Ali, but not now. Okay, so you're in the Philippines. That's cool. Uh, but thank you, Tamara. Which kind? Football, basketball, baseball? What kind of? I'm a football fan myself. Uh, Not big on college ball. I do like college basketball, but I just watched my favorite college game today. I'm a big fan of the Army Navy game, and the Navy won. I'm former Navy. Oh, you're a Packer backer. My older brother was a Green Bay Packers fan. I'm a Colts fan. I'm from Indiana originally, and so I happen to root for the Colts. I'll try to. Hopefully, I'll be able to see their game tomorrow. They don't play till 4:30 here, uh, but we'll see what's going on. And both of you are actually going to do this. All right, now, being I gave you a monitor, if you want to advertise your channel, type in LLL, and my Nightbot will drop your link for you. Just 3 L's. But yeah, like I said, I'm a pro football fan mostly. Yeah, I remember Tony Manovic. He was considered by some to be a bust because he was a first round pick. And no, it's got to be 3 separate L's, Michelle. Yeah, it could be small L's or capital L's, doesn't matter. But he actually played for a while. See, what to me, he wasn't a total bust, but some people thought he was a bust. He was a bust for where he was picked, but he did play, so he wasn't. To me, he wasn't a total bust. And so that's where that is. Like I said, yeah. Do you remember Tony George? Now that's a guy that got in his own head. I mean, he had an arm to beat all arms, but he was a head case, if you ask me. But right now, we're getting ready to start Old Man Rivers. By that, I mean Philip Rivers, who's 44 years old, hadn't played a game in 5 years, and he's starting tomorrow for the Indianapolis Colts as quarterback. What happened is our first string and second string quarterback both were hurt. Both are out I think, for the season. The third string quarterback got hurt. So we'll see. I hope I get to watch the game. I'd love to see him play. It may be a fascinating game, but it will be fascinating if he plays decent at all. Oh, yeah. When Peyton Manning was his first year, you may or may not remember this. You may not be old enough to remember it. He went 3-13, 3 wins, 13 losses, threw 28 interceptions, still holds the record for the most interceptions by a rookie. He says he's willing to let anybody break it that wants to, but he doesn't wish it on anybody. Now, the next year, he had the biggest turnaround at that time. They went 13-3, and we made the playoffs. And we were in the playoffs almost every year he was on our team. We won double digits for years in a row. There was 10 years where we won more games in 10 years than anybody else did in 10 years. We were winning like 11, 12 games or more a year for almost 10 years. It was an amazing run. Made the Super Bowl twice. Won the first one, lost the second one to the New Orleans Saints. Yeah, that was a crazy amount of interceptions. You got that right, a coin society. So, yeah, I've been a fan of the Colts since the midnight run of the Mayflowers back in March of 1984. You may not know this, but before the Colts went to Indianapolis, they were in Baltimore. They were the Baltimore Colts. And Baltimore was threatening to take the team away under eminent domain. So Robert Irsay, which was Jim Irsay's father, their lease ran out at midnight on March 31st. So just before midnight, they had all these Mayflower moving vans come in. They loaded them up, and at midnight, they left Baltimore and drove to Indianapolis and became the Indianapolis Colts. And so I've been a fan of the Colts since then. I did like the Johnny Unitas, who played for the Colts in Baltimore. But like I said, I became a fan of the Indianapolis Colts when they March of 1984, the midnight run of the Mayflowers. And that's why I say it's the midnight run, because they left at midnight and moved to Indianapolis from Baltimore. So they have now the Baltimore Colts was there. They started in 53, first year of the Baltimore Colts. The same, so 53 to 84 is 33 years. And they've been in Indianapolis since 84. As you can see, they've been in Indy a whole lot longer than they were in Baltimore. And Baltimore still hates the Colts because they left. And they got the Ravens, the Baltimore Ravens. And that's a pretty good team. So, yeah, that's but yeah, that's the Indianapolis Colts is my pro football team, and the college team I root for is listen to me, Navy Academy, Indianapolis. That's Army Navy game is the one game I want to watch every year that I can. I've watched them almost every year, but there's been a couple times where I was either out at sea, overseas, and couldn't get the game. And so, but I've watched almost every game since I went in the Navy in 72. I got to watch all of them. I didn't get to watch it in 72. I was overseas on a ship, and we couldn't get the game on ship because back then you didn't get it on ship. Well, I understand. I'm going to have to see if I can find a way to watch my Colts. In basketball, Indiana Pacers is my pro team. I like a team that you probably never heard of in college. That's Indiana State University, not Indiana University, Indiana State, which happens to be in my hometown of Terre Haute. But you've heard of the most famous player from Indiana State University, I'm sure. His name is Larry Bird. Larry Bird played at Indiana State University. He also played baseball for Indiana State University. But I think he was a pitcher in baseball, if I remember right. But I got out of the Navy his senior year. But I got out of the Navy Larry Bird's senior year. I come home. You couldn't get a ticket to a game. They were sold out before the season started. But every game was on TV, so I got to watch him play a lot in college his senior year, unless I had to work. And if I had to work or do something, every game was on the radio, so I listened to it if I couldn't watch it. And it was a spectacular year. We lost to Magic Johnson at Michigan State. And we're probably one of the few teams that threw a parade for the losers. And we did not riot. We did not burn things. We had a party. All right. Like I said, I'm on every week about this same time. I actually earlier than this because I'm not always on this late. I come on about 8 o'clock the Philippines time, 8 in the morning. I try to keep that time pretty much, and I'm on for an hour or longer. Depends on what's going on. If people have interesting things to talk about, we talk. If somebody comes up and talks, we talk. And the more that happens, the longer I'm on. Next week, I will have only the one format. I haven't decided the name of the show yet. It'll probably be just Merry Christmas. And the next one will be Happy New Year. That's what I think I'll do, is the next two. So anyway, thanks for coming on, Acorn. I hope you have a good day. If you're in the Philippines, I know it's Sunday over there. Saturday night here, Sunday morning, where you're at. So you take care, and we'll talk to you some other time. And I hope everybody else is doing well. Now, Hannah is here in the United States like I am. I think, Hannah, aren't you in New York as well, if I remember right? Or are you down in Texas? Which one is it, Hannah? Are you the one that's up by Syracuse? Or are you the one are you down in Texas area? But should have been going for almost 3 hours. Over 2 hours and 45 minutes already. But yeah. All right, everybody. We're getting down on the number of people here. All right, Christina Vlog. We'll wait till that pops up. We're not shutting down till you're. Come on, Nightbot. You're breaking down on me. There you go. About time, Nightbot. You're a little slow there, buddy. And somebody, I think, had 3 L's, but they had it spaced out, and they got to be right there together. It's got to be all right there together to get it to pop up. So anyway, everyone, I want to thank you for coming. I want to wish you a good day wherever you're at, or a good night if you're in the States, a good day over in the Philippines, or whatever it is, wherever you're at. I hope you have a good day, and I hope everything stays good. I want to remind you now to remember to be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And as always, try to have fun. We're going to end this one now. Bye, everybody. Take care.